I have a lived experience both of being bereaved by suicide. I lost my husband to suicide about 13 years ago. And I also have my own experience of surviving several attempts on my life after he died. So I'm coming from two different places. And I also now, I guess, through my experience, realized that the work that I want to do is to support people who are feeling like they're losing hope and that they're having thoughts of taking their lives. So I work as a peer support specialist on a warm line, and it almost sort of makes sense to be there for people when there was no one there for me and there was no one there for my husband. I'm doing this for Shimo. That was his name. And I'm doing this work to honour his amazing life and what an extraordinary man he was. I just want him to know that I do this for him. So I can actually pinpoint it to one moment in time. And it was after I'd lost custody of my daughter and I was shipped off, forced to rehab. And I live regionally, so I was in Sydney. I wasn't allowed to speak to her. You know, it was pretty intense. I didn't know if they were going to be trying to keep her till she was 18 or just for a year, 2 years. And because I was so emotional, the rehab themselves said, you can't stay here. We can't treat you. You're too emotional. And I remember sitting out on this gutter in Glebe with my backpack and my thongs, just feeling like there was nothing left. I really know that feeling. Like I'd lost my daughter, my home, my family weren't speaking to me. I had no money. I wasn't allowed to go back to my home because it was right next door to my daughter's school. I was kicked out of rehab. And I sat there and really completely gave up. And I was watching every bus go past, and, you know, this intent, this incredible, overwhelming intent to destroy the suffering and the pain. I had nothing to throw at life anymore in that moment. And it was like suddenly I opened up and I just had this moment of grace where I was completely empty and I decided to live. And all I had was my next breath. It was so pure. And I sat there and I went, well, I've got that. And that was the beginning of my recovery, was I'm going to keep breathing. And what I would say to people about when that happens, or if it hasn't happened yet, it will. That grace will come and life starts to change again, because nothing stays the same. And that grace came in that moment, and just I kept taking the next step. And that was, nearly 9 years ago now. And, you know, the right people kept showing up from there. But it was actually an internal shift that had to happen. And all the support in the world isn't going to do that. I think it's about making people who are grieving and in shock and bereaved aware that you are there, and asking them, how can I help? What do you need? Is there anything I can do today that would make your day easier? Is there anywhere I can take you? Is there anyone I can call for you? Is there any housework that I can help with? You know, it's actually allowing that person to take some kind of ownership and lead about what they need. Please don't give them advice. Please don't diagnose them. Please don't tell them what the solution is. It's actually, it's a deeply personal thing. And it's just to be able to hold that space of, I love you and I care about you. What can I do to help?